3, 2, 1, action.
Wow, he's even got a clapperboard. This is professional.
Hello guys, it's me Barty. What is next, Barty? This episode it is with Henry, my friend. Okay, Henry is owner of Pike Performers.
Correct.
Correct. Brazilian black belt.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, yeah.
Personal trainer.
Personal trainer.
Judo.
Orange belt.
Orange belt. Okay.
Pretty
yeah. Am I forgot
prestigious.
something?
No. That's
No.
it, I think,
Okay.
yeah.
Are you sure?
So.
Former DJ drum and bass.
Yeah.
There you go.
DJ, yeah, all sorts. Producing bands.
I
yeah.
see.
There we go.
Okay, Henry, thank you for your time. Can we start?
Yeah,
First
let's
question.
do it. Let's
Okay,
do it.
Henry, when we first met, you were working as a personal trainer, I think, at Pyramid Gym.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Almost 10 years?
Yeah, probably about 8 years ago, nearly
Yeah.
9 years ago.
No. Why did you choose a career as a personal trainer instead of, for example, then the DJ drum and bass? Your picture from Facebook from the bottom are completely different, yeah? Drum and bass.
It wasn't always drum and bass. It was drum and bass, techno, house, hip hop. There's been all sorts, funk and soul. Yeah. Why? Yeah. I think, I don't know really. In fact, you know what? Like when I was DJing and stuff, it was different to now. Like social media and stuff had just got started. So I was uploading like my songs. Like I used to produce music and stuff. Like up until fairly recently, like probably about 8 years ago, I stopped. And yeah, there was like MySpace. Do you remember MySpace?
Yes, I remember MySpace. That was a long time ago.
So I used to like upload my tunes to MySpace, maybe Facebook when it first started, SoundCloud. There's some stuff on SoundCloud. But like, I feel like now, if I was like doing it all over again, and I was young now, I'd be way more like motivated to be like all over like socials, like posting videos and like, you know, like kind of like I am now with like jiu-jitsu and stuff. I'd like to in some ways go back to doing music and stuff, but and you know what, actually, sorry, I'm rambling, but I'll go back and answer your question. The reason I'm not doing like music and I went to personal training is because DJing and music involves being in drinking establishments till late in the evening, and usually you get paid to some degree in free alcohol.
Okay.
And that means by the end of the night, you are fucking pissed out of your face. Or I am, at least. And then the next day, I would usually want to do jiu-jitsu, and I couldn't do it. So the last DJ gig I did was at like a Belgian bar. Okay. And they would pay us in food. We got money as well, but free booze. And I remember going to training the next day, and I was just like, and week after week, I go to training on a Saturday, and I'd be hanging out my ass. And I said to my friend Tommy, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, jiu-jitsu is too important to me. I can't be turning up to training, like hanging out my ass. Like, I don't enjoy it. So I stopped. So kids, jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I know. But why you choose the personal trainer?
The personal trainer.
Why?
Sorry, why did I put, so,
why? You know, because you could be anyone.
I was a mental health nurse before I was a personal trainer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And psychology.
Yes.
Yeah.
Psychiatry. Mental health nurse, basically. Working literally over there. And I think, you know what, I sort of was at a different gym to here, and I used to look at, I'd come from work, like visiting patients in their home, like admitting people into hospitals, sectioning people, giving people like, you know, really heavy medication, like being like verbally and sometimes physically like abused. And, you know, like it's a full on job. Like it's really full on. And I'd come to training, I'd look at the coaches and I'd be like, fucking, you guys have just got the best life. You just sit around all day, you take a PT, you do some rolling at lunchtime, you eat your little microwave meal, you're probably getting paid better than I'm getting paid, and I'm here fucking working my ass off, like doing this noble job.
Yeah, of course. Like,
this is bullshit. Like, and I'd kind of lost the love for it in the last couple of years that I was sort of doing it. And I remember when we trained to be a nurse, they said, if you ever like lose the passion, stop doing it. Because this is not a job for people who aren't passionate about it. Like, it's a shit job.
Yeah.
You need to be passionate about helping people with their mental health and helping people get better and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
If you lose that passion, stop doing it.
Stop doing it.
And those words kind of rung in my head. And so I sort of went to train to be a personal trainer because I was interested in training. I was like in the gym, I was doing jiu-jitsu, and I was like, you know, interested in that. And so came back to Portsmouth, was working part-time as a nurse, part-time as a personal trainer. And then just after a while, I was like, I'm packing in the nursing. I want to be full-time personal training. I want to train jiu-jitsu people. You know, I wanted to be a jiu-jitsu coach like I am now, and kind of, I see it as the same thing. You know, I'm just using a different modality to help people improve their health and well-being.
Of course. You have, I didn't know about that mental health worker.
Nurse.
Okay, second question.
I'm ready.
What inspired you to begin your martial arts journey, and what did you take your first step into training? Do you remember your first session? And it wasn't here, I think. So you came from different gym. And
the first session I ever went to was Colin's club, this club, over in Fitness First.
Okay, yeah.
I'd been into jiu-jitsu, like watching it on YouTube, like all the sort of the Gracie story, the early UFCs, learning all about it on YouTube, sitting at home just smoking weed. Skinny, like 75 kilos wet through, weak, scared of the world. And I was looking at it and I was like, man, this is it. Like, and we used to go out and like, we'd drink and we'd wrestle at the end of the night, like drunk wrestling. And it was pretty good. Like, I had a good headlock on me. I was like, I'm good at jiu-jitsu. And I'm watching all this stuff. And then I was at the gym and I was like, shit, there's a fucking jiu-jitsu class right here. Like, what's going on? This is mental. Like, what are the chances? So it was like a Wednesday lunchtime or something. And I signed up and I went to go see it. And Colin said like, oh, you can just watch if you want. And like, he shouldn't have said that because he probably saw that I was terrified. And I was like, yeah, I'll just watch. Like, if he just said like, yeah, come in, join in, I would have joined in. But he was like, yeah, you can watch it. Oh yeah, I'll just watch. It's an easy route out. And I remember looking at these guys and just thinking like, I'm going to get murdered. Like, this was probably like 3 or 4 years before I started jiu-jitsu. And it was all like big bouncer types and stuff like that. And I was just like, I'm going to get murdered. Like, what can I do to these guys? And that's a thought that I see a lot of first day people here have. They're like, what can I do to you guys? And I'd say like, doesn't matter.
Have you been scared? Yeah,
I was scared.
Man, I was the same. Danny Chai, I had my first role was with Danny Chai, 2015, and I remember when that moment was coming. I said, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Just do it whatever you want, like fight with brother, you know. And he gave me that courage, you know. But I was scared, you know. I thought I'm a brave man, but when that moment came, say, oh man, it's just raw, but I lost my confidence, everything.
I think as a man, you think I should know what to do.
Yeah.
But like, we know now that like, you shouldn't know what to do because you've got no idea because you've never done it. Like, unless you're trained in some sort of combat sport, you've got no idea what you're doing. Like, you just come in, you just try and do your best. But like, you come in thinking like, no, I should know what to do. And it's like, no, you shouldn't. Like, don't worry about it. You're in the right place. Just do whatever you think, you know, just try and survive. But yeah, so I just watched that. I left like, I think like halfway through or something like that, and was just like, yeah, I'll be back. Like, oh. And then like 3 years later, a friend of mine was doing it, and he was like a kind of nerdy guy, and he was like, yeah, I'm doing jiu-jitsu down with Kevin Chan down at Kmart. And I was like, oh shit, like you're doing it. Like, all right, I'll come down. I reckon I can beat you up. And I didn't say that to him, but like, I just thought, like, yeah, if you can do it, I can do it. And went down there and just in that first session, like, and during that first like sparring roll, I remember just thinking, like, yeah, this is it. I'm never gonna stop doing it. I
had the same after first roll with Dan. Say, this is it. Yeah, I want to do it. This.
Yeah. So
when was that exactly?
I think it was 2011.
2011.
End of 2011, beginning of 2012, I think.
Doesn't mean 12,
something like
years, 14 years, we could say.
Yeah, but I think it's about 13 years, something like that. Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah, it's the longest I've stuck at anything.
Really?
Yeah. Apart from being with my wife.
Brave man.
So yeah, it's the longest I've. Usually after 6-7 years of anything, I just sort of like my head gets turned. Oh, what's that? That's shiny. Let's go and do that. But jiu-jitsu just doesn't. It's just keep feeding me. Keeps feeding me. It's good. Yeah.
Okay. Now question number 3. What are your top 3 achievements according to you? We talk about martial arts.
Just in martial arts?
Yeah. We stick to the martial arts. I know, wife, kids, etc. Yeah, but we stick to martial arts.
I don't think I've got loads of achievements.
Yeah, I believe. That's why you choose the 3 one.
Well, no, I don't think I've got loads of achievements.
Ah, you don't?
No, no.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
So actually, recently, so this weekend, so firstly, getting my black belt.
Okay,
Like,
yeah, nice.
For me, that was a really big deal. Like, and you could make the argument, look, man, if you just don't quit, it doesn't matter how shit you are, you're gonna get a black belt eventually, and that is true. So in some ways, it's not really an amazing achievement. It's just don't give up.
You think?
But I think I've fucking worked really hard for that.
You think is if you not give up, you receive the black belt?
I think you will. If you start when you're 40.
Oh yeah.
No. Okay, sorry. If you start when you're 20.
Yeah.
If you just keep training until you're dead.
Yeah.
Let's say you live to 90 and you never stop training. At some point, you're going to get your black belt, aren't you? And at some point, you're going to be all right. You're going to be okay at jiu-jitsu.
Okay, I didn't think this way, but no, yeah, you have right. But
even if you get it when you're 50, it took you 30 years. You're probably going to be quite good at jiu-jitsu then, because you've been doing it for 30 years.
30 years. Oh yeah, you have right. Okay, if you do not,
it is simple as just don't stop turning up. Work out how many times a week you can do that, and that might change as your journey goes on. Once, twice, 3, 5, 6 times a week. Doesn't matter. Like just keep turning up, and you will get good at jiu-jitsu. Doesn't matter how shit you are. Some people will get good at it in 2 years. Other people it takes 20 years. But eventually you will be good at jiu-jitsu relative to the majority of people who are white, blue, and purple belts.
Oh yeah, good example is Diogo. He's progressing so quick. Or True.
What were the questions? Three achievements. So firstly, getting my black belt did mean a lot to me because I worked hard for it. It's a massive part of my life. Like it's a massive part of my identity being a jiu-jitsu person. So being awarded that black belt really meant a lot to me, and my kids were there, and my wife was there, and the team were there, and it was like really emotional. So that was probably like my number one achievement. Number two is probably just competing on Polaris, which isn't even really an achievement because
it is for me.
It is an achievement. No, it is an achievement, and it was a massive. You know what? Actually, sorry, it's competing on Polaris, but it was getting paid to be an athlete.
Yes,
I know. I only got paid £150 or something like that. So it's not like going to pay for anything.
Yes, of course.
However, like when I was younger, I always had that dream of being like I really wanted to be a professional footballer.
Okay,
but I was not great at football. Like it turns out.
Yeah.
So that was, I didn't achieve that. And like that delusion of being a professional footballer probably lasted until like my mid-20s. And I'm not good at football. And I wasn't even playing for a team.
Okay.
But I still occasionally dreamed that like I could start playing and turn it around and actually I'm pretty good and I make it to like I would still have that daydream. So then to like get into jiu-jitsu and like never really think about being a professional athlete. And then by chance, just get the opportunity to be on Polaris and then turn up and they paid me to be there.
Yeah.
So I am actually technically a professional athlete.
It is. It's fun.
Because I got paid to be do a sport. Yeah. So that in some ways was like realizing like a lifelong dream, even though it's like, I'm not getting paid like 10 grand or something.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I know what you mean.
But in a small way, it was realizing a lifelong dream. So that was kind of a, and being on Polaris, it was amazing. And, the way it all went down, even though I didn't win, it was like really dramatic and everyone like remembers it. And it was like really cool.
No, it was good event,
So that's probably number two. And I think number three is just winning a gold medal, no matter how small the competition was at every belt level. That's a goal I set myself as a white belt. I was like, I want to win a gold medal at every belt level. And this weekend I achieved that because I beat a black belt and I won a medal. And that means I've won a gold medal at every belt level. So there's nothing crazy there. I've never won the world or anything like that. But like those three achievements were things that were like quite important to me as in the sphere of my life.
In my opinion, this is beautiful, according to you, because this is something what you feeling inside, I wanna this. I was dreaming about first goal and I won my first goal as a purple belt, and I was dreaming so many years. I always was so close. And 1 year ago, I won my first goal.
Amazing.
Purple belt, small things. Diogo is winning gold all the time, but I not compare to you or Diogo. That was my dream.
That's for you, man. That's the beautiful thing about jiu-jitsu. It's a completely personal journey. No one can take that away from you. When people talk about, the belts don't mean anything, they do because they're personal to you. They're an award to you to say you are progressing and you've made progress and you are now at this level for you. Yeah. Not for anyone else, not compared to anyone else, for you. And that gold medal was important for you.
Yeah, of course. Question number 4. Hello.
Oh, you're right.
Okay, question number 4. Henry, out of your roles as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu grappler, a coach, a YouTuber, or a personal trainer,
Influencer,
judo orange belt, which one do you prefer the most? Which one brings you the most joy? And which one do you feel most fulfilled? And of course, why? Or DJ.
Oh, DJ. I was a chef as well once.
Oh, chef.
Yeah. I was really into chefing for a while. It's definitely teaching and doing jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
The
definitely.
most joy.
That is the thing that brings me the most joy. Yeah, for sure.
More coaching or competing? I asked this question to Colin. Yeah, you know, I don't say what he answered, but I asked this same question to him.
So competing's a funny one for me. Like I love training jiu-jitsu. That would be the thing that brings me the most joy.
Training.
100%. It would be training jiu-jitsu, getting on the mats and me training jiu-jitsu, like with my team.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and part of that for me is not just like me going in there and me training myself. Part of it is like we'll train and, you know, we'll give each other advice and I'll help people and, you know, maybe I'll roll with one of the young guys and sort of I will try and give them a good round. You know, I'm not just going to like steamroll through them. Like,
yeah, of course.
You know, give them opportunities to work in bits. So in some ways that's sort of coaching, but it's really just being a teammate. But I love just the physical act of training, of rolling, you know, sparring. That's the thing that brings me the most joy. Second to that, obviously coaching. Yeah, for sure. That's really important to me. But yeah, if you said like you can only do one of those things that's on your list, I'd just train.
Training. Yeah.
100%.
Okay. Last question number 5. Henry, your journey as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt and personal trainer is inspiring. Inspiring? Yeah, inspiring.
Yeah, that's right.
As you look to the future, how do you see your career evolving? Evolving? Yeah, evolution.
Evolving, yeah.
Evolving, okay. Okay, now why you not speak Polish? Are there any Are there any specific challenges you are excited to tackle or new areas you are looking to explore with BJJ or personal trainer? Because why is this question? Because I remember you 10 years ago, blue belt, personal trainer in that shitty gym in Pyramid, and you are now here as a black belt running 6 classes per week,
something like that, yeah, probably.
Something like that, no gi, and your Pike performers classes. Yeah, am I right?
Yeah.
That's why I see that progression from that gym to this point. Yeah, this moment. Yeah, one moment. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. What was your plan for?
I love so something that we haven't mentioned is like we started. Along with some of the guys who have helped me, have started the kids program here, the kids jiu-jitsu program. Like that's really important to me. That's something that I'm really proud of because they're like we've been going for probably like 3-ish years, maybe something like that. So you know, when you first start, it's just like mayhem, just kids who've never done jiu-jitsu, like. You know, it's...
Sorry. Yeah, because the country is as well kids jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, so I forgot.
I forgot to mention. It's not only adult coaches as well the jiu-jitsu kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
5'8", and you are running the first class, the smaller.
They go from between 4 and 15.
4 to 15, but it's divided to 2 classes.
We sort of split them. Yeah, we split them. There's like 4 to 8. And then like 8 to 15.
Okay.
But yeah, that's something that I'm very proud of. That's something that really brings me a lot of joy. Sometimes it's incredibly frustrating. As anyone who's ever coached kids will know. But like there's times where it's like real joy. Like now that like, you know, most of the kids there, obviously the new ones not so much, but like there's a good core group of about 20, 30 kids who are coming regularly and have been for like a year to 3 years. And they're doing jiu-jitsu.
And they're competing.
Yeah, some of them are competing. But it's just amazing to see them just doing jiu-jitsu. Like they walked in, they had no idea. Now they're like just like doing really good jiu-jitsu. And I'm like, this is amazing. Like this is so good. Like, and I think about all the like mindset and sort of life lessons that I've learned through jiu-jitsu, and I just try and just pump that out to them, and I just think this is really going to make your life better. Hopefully, you know, maybe not, but like I feel like it's going to make their life a lot better. So that's really important to me. That you go back to ask your question. If I could do, oh, it's hard. Yeah, no, I'd have to train, but also I do love the kids' classes.
Okay.
So. But yeah, it's important. So in terms of like what I want to, the future, what it holds, more competing at black belt. I want to get that record. I'm 1 and 2 now at black belt. I want to get that back so there's more in the win column than in the lose column. That would be nice. But like developing the kids program more, building those kids, getting them through into the adult classes, promoting our first like juvenile blue belts and things like that, like and you know, promoting some of the adults, and you know, just sort of developing the coaching journey. Yeah, all that stuff really. That's the future. That's the future. Develop the coaching
and Pike performance and
yeah. That's
why.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's still going strong. Still going strong. Helping the sort of our Gen Pop guys. We don't really train as many fighters at the moment.
Yeah.
In person, it's more people in their kind of 40s, 50s, and 60s and above. That's really important to me. You know, that's a sort of separate thing to jiu-jitsu. But I love, you know, from the nurse in me wants to help people improve their health.
Suzanne?
Sue, yeah, she's an absolute legend.
She's legend, yeah. Can you, Suzanne is 60, 50?
She's 63.
63, yeah, and she
maybe
trained,
64.
She trained with Henry.
Sorry. Yeah, she's a legend.
I would say regular for years.
Yeah, for years, yeah. So helping those guys, again, it is a big passion. I love everything that I do, I love it. You know, and I wouldn't want to stop doing any of it. You know, so it's all important to me.
Gi or no gi?
No gi.
Oh man, what's happened with you? I remember you only in gi. Now
I'll be honest, like, you know, people
has
always
been
say
changed this.
This has changed since I got my black belt.
Okay, because I remember you.
Yeah.
When when you train was more gi.
I have been more gi orientated up to purple belt, up to kind of mid purple belt. I was more gi orientated, and then actually probably from like brown belt onwards, I sort of started getting more into no gi,
leg locks,
and leg locks and wrestling, and now as a black belt, I do enjoy the gi, but like I find the gi much more taxing on my body.
Okay, yeah.
My hands just get destroyed. My elbows get destroyed. Like I just find it much more like hard and wearing. Whereas I find in no gi, like I can slip around and slide around, and like I just don't find it beats me up as much as in the gi.
Oh, okay.
So for that reason, I find as I'm getting older, like now I'm 41, I'll be 42 this year, and I really am feeling like
you're feeling the no gis for you.
Well, I'm feeling my age.
For
the first time in my jiu-jitsu journey, I'm like really feeling like my age. And I want to keep training. Like, you know, I only train sort of 3 to 4 days a week. And like 1 to 2 of those days are hard days. And the other 2 are like relatively easy. So it's not a great deal. But if I do more than that, like
the body,
I just can't recover from it. Like, so with all my other stresses, family, work, all these things, that is the max I can train.
Yeah.
The gi like really like tips me over the edge with that. Like I just find I don't recover as well, but no gi, like I find I'm good. So really I do like 1 gi session a week because I teach a gi class.
Oh, okay.
And the rest of it is all no gi. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I'll come back to the gi one day.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
That was 5 question plus I call now because it's always 5 plus. And do you want to say something? You have YouTube channel.
Follow me at Coach Henry Pike on Instagram.
I'm gonna add your Instagram.
Go follow Dad Jitsu Pod on YouTube.
I'm gonna add as well to description below.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, probably. Yeah, go and listen to the Dad Jitsu podcast. We've got some episodes on Spotify, but they're all on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Come and train with us at GMO1. If you want to be on the podcast, message me. We'll arrange it. Keep training jiu-jitsu and just be awesome.
Cheers, Henry. Thank you very much.
Man.
That was a pleasure. Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, buddy.
25 minutes.